This was a day like any other day of my life. It was the best morning, everything was great, the sun was out, and no, it wasn't. It was the week of finals, and it was my first semester here at Fullerton, and I'm thinking, woo, fun, finals. And then this feeling in the back of my head's telling me, you forgot to do something. And then I look at myself and I'm like, I forgot to study. And I started cramming. I look at all my notes, I just flip through all the pages, running down the stairs, get breakfast, say hello to mom. And then I'm just like, well, this better go into my head or else I'm not going to pass my first semester, right? But then this morning I always do something that I shouldn't have done, but I did, because it's like a usual weekend thing. I go to my bird cages and I open it up. Now, I had 7 birds, and they were all 3 different species about, and they all fly around the house when I opened it. The special thing about them is that once they're out, they get to play, they get to sing, they get to enjoy life. But when they're tired, they automatically fly back into their cages. Doesn't matter what time of day, doesn't matter if I turn off a light or leave it on, they'll just go back by themselves. Except one. This bird is my favorite because I raised her when she was just 3 weeks old with a syringe and baby food. And so her name is Angel, and she's a gray cockatiel with a little feather and red cheeks. Really cute. But I loved her so much, so I was just cuddling with her, having fun, but then I'm like, did I forget something? And so I look back and I'm like, oh no, I'm late! And so I grab all my notes, I put her back on the cage, and I open the door. But then there was this huge feeling of paranoia that knocks on the back of my head. It's saying, something is about to go on. Something's gonna happen, and you better watch out. But then I'm like, it's probably just me failing my finals, it's nothing. And so I close the door and I go in the car, my dad's waiting for me, and then we drive here. So after my first final, I knew it passed, of course, it wasn't that hard. And then I just wait for my dad. As soon as I got into the car, however, there was this feeling of paranoia again. But this time there was a cold feeling with it, a really cold and dark feeling. My dad suddenly told me, hey, have you seen Angel this morning? I'm sitting there and I'm just sweating, like, what do you mean? What do you mean have you seen Angel? Of course I've seen Angel. I was cuddling her this morning. You saw me. But he told me, the other birds are quiet. Now here's the thing. If you have a pet or animals in your house, you would know. If they're quiet, either means they're sleeping or something's wrong. And so I started freaking out. I'm like, okay, Dad, let's go home. I want to see Angel. Let's go. So he drove home. I opened the door, and I'm screaming, Angel! And then there's no response. All the other birds were silent. They were looking at me as if they knew something, but they can't tell me. Started freaking out. I opened the cages. I looked everywhere. I run down the rooms. I went to the kitchen. I went to my dad's room. I went upstairs. I opened my brother's room. He knocked me in the head because he was sleeping. And so I went to the kitchen again. I don't know why, but I opened the oven just to check. And so I was freaking out, and then suddenly I broke down. This was the bird I cared for 6 months straight. I had to raise her, take care of her. I even had to go to the vet sometimes to take shots and stuff. I spent so much money on her, as dedication to her, and now she's gone. But I only had an hour degree because the next was my other final, chemistry. Now, if you know chemistry, is that it's difficult, and also I did not study. But as soon as I stepped through that room to take my final, a sense of defeat went over me. Because, what I think? This test does not mean anything to me, except I lost my family. A member that I loved. I cannot get that back. I can take another test, I can pass, but I'll never get my bird back. I cannot get the memories back either. And so after the final, I'm just like, I don't care if I failed. I don't care if I passed. It doesn't matter. I go home, I went straight to my room, and I just slept. Or I tried to sleep at least. But then later my mom came home and she heard what happened. She went up to my room and knocked on my door really hard and she screamed, Kim, you better open this door right now! And I'm just laying there emotionless. I'm like, why? And then she goes, you better give me a picture of your bird right now, or else I will knock down this door. So I went on my phone and opened a picture of her, my bird, and then I gave it to my mom. She brought the picture and she left. I went to stay in the bed for another 30 minutes. And then suddenly there's this feeling of I don't know, it was a really interesting feeling that went over me. A wave of water washing over me, calming me. And then I heard the door being slammed open. And then this rustling of feathers I heard. I suddenly panicked because my mom's screaming, Kim, get down! And so I opened my door, I ran down the stairs, And there behold, my mom was carrying my bird, and my bird was flapping like crazy and screaming. This noise that she makes is the noise when she sees me. And that was when we cuddled and reunited ourselves, and we know that no matter what happens, I will always be with her, and I would be more careful what I do with her.